Wonderful. Welcome, everyone, to CSL Greater Baltimore's Sunday morning meditation. My name is Dianne Stewart Hamlin, and I am happy and joyous to be here with you today. Today's meditation is a contemplative meditation, and we are taking our reading from a book that I love very much. It's called The Answer Is You. The author is Michael Bernard Beckwith, and the reading begins on page 3. I will start with chimes just to get you to relax and focus your energy, and then invite you to listen to the words that I am reading. We have a body, but we are not the body. We have a mind, but we are not the mind. Body and mind are vehicles through which the self expresses. Each of us is that which is conscious of having a body and a mind. As we abide more and more in our true self, we become empowered to make wisdom-guided choices. Choice is a function of awareness. When we choose to evolve our mindsets and heart sets, then self-empowerment, love, abundance, joy, freedom, all that seems just beyond your grasp, or that seems to slip between your fingers, are tapped from within and released into our experience. We do not exist to aggressively get. We are here to tenderly let that which is within us to harmoniously flow into our outer life. Will you give your consent to making a deeper commitment to discover that which has been implanted within you, that which awaits the ripe conditions to leap into full expression as you? This is a courageous and vital commitment, because when the proper conditions are met, who you are fully expresses beyond who you are fully expresses beyond the ego's to-do list and purposes designed for its glorification. When you wake up, it no longer matters who your parents are, how many who volumes you appear in, if you have been born into abject poverty, or if you are physically challenged. All that pales into comparison with the emergence of the perfect idea that is latent within you. To make this more visceral, let's say that right now you have in your pocket a rose bush seed that you've forgotten about. Then one day, while doing your laundry, it falls out of your pocket onto the floor. Out of curiosity, you plant it in a small container. After it grows roots and sprouts, you transplant it into your garden with the proper conditions of sunlight, water, and plant food. What started out as a tiny seed, then a sprout, matures into a rose bush with exquisite blossoms. Obviously, within that seed, the perfect pattern of a rose bush existed all along. Within all beings, there is also a seed of enlightenment, a perfect pattern of self-realization, awaiting the proper conditions to emerge. Ralph Waldo Emerson, when describing the nature of the human being, was fond of using the word endogenous. Man is that noble endogenous plant, he would say, which grows like the palm, from within outward. Endogenous means originating internally. As human beings, we cultivate our consciousness from within and project it outwardly into the world of effects. Now I invite you to contemplate these words as we sit together in this glorious silence with the divine. If your attention wanders, just simply go back to the breath, breathing in the words that were read. Be still and know. If your attention has drifted, just gently bring it back to the breath. Just breathing, allowing, listening. In just a few more moments, we sit and listen. And so, how good it is to have spent this time together in loving silence. How good it is to have taken a time to step away from all that's happening around us and just sit with ourselves and sit with the divine. So I am grateful. And I give thanks for this opportunity, reminding me and all of us that God is indeed all there is, that there is no thing that has its presence outside of the power and presence of God itself. We all exist within it. It is us and we are it, and there is no thing that gets in the way of that. So we bless this time, we bless this sacred time together, knowing that what has been revealed in the silence is now cultivated from deep within each one of us as individual expressions of the Most High itself. And each one of us continues to unfold our divine and sacred journey in this time. We all cultivate all that we are for our own selves and for the continued unfolding of all that is. Grateful I am for this time together, knowing that it has been sacred, it has nurtured our souls. We know now that our service begins with beautiful music. Our blessed, beloved teacher and minister, Reverend Raymont, is here today, pouring forth all that Spirit is pouring. Service, we bless this time together, knowing it continues to be good and very well. Each one receiving their own divine teaching and message. Each one of us together continuing to be this beloved community. I'm so grateful for this and so much more. And as I release my words, I know they fall into the fertile consciousness of God itself, expressed as each one here. Magnificent and beautiful. All is good, all is well, and so it is. Amen.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Yes, I can make it now. The rain is gone. All of those bad feelings have disappeared. Here is the rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue sky. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue sky. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Here is the rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Oh, it's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Oh, it's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Oh, it's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Oh, it's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day.
Good morning and happy Sunday. In order to help with our new method of recording our service, we request that congregants and participants who are not speaking, performing, or interpreting to please turn cameras off until after service. At that time, all can come on camera to fellowship and share the love. Thank you for your cooperation. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore's virtual service. I am Tracy Rhymes, your host. Our speaker is Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson. Our musician is Felicia Taylor. Serving as today's practitioner who led the pre-service meditation is Dianne Stewart Hamlin. Assisting with making this service open, inviting, and accessible to the deaf community are our sign language interpreters, Dedra Wilcher and Renuka Purimetla. On behalf of Reverend Dr. Ray, thank you all for your service. At the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore, every Sunday is an invite a friend or family member Sunday. You know what that means? That means make sure you spread the love and invite someone to service. We would love to have them hang out with us. Before Dianne grounds us in prayer, let me share this about her. Dianne Stewart Hamlin is a spiritual counselor, public speaker, and transformational coach. She is a licensed religious science practitioner and an Agape licensed spiritual practitioner. Dianne is a facilitator at the Agape University and a ministerial student at Michael Beckwith School of Ministry. Her clients seek her out for help with a variety of challenges, including relationship issues, couples counseling, career changes, desires for financial increase, spiritual challenges, grief and loss, dealing with divorce, and parenting support. She is a licensed attorney with a practice that is focused on alternative and creative legal solutions. For more information, you can follow her on Instagram and Twitter at Stewham and on Facebook. You can schedule an appointment at dstewham@gmail.com.
Thank you, Tracy. How grateful I am to be here to be your witness to this fantastic service that is unfolding in such grace and ease and magnificence that each one of us sitting here today will be experiencing a holy, holy uprising, because the adventure that is called our lives is coming through today with perfect instruction and direction and communication, and understanding for each one of us individually, right where we sit, that all that we need to have this holy, holy uprising is happening in our lives right now. The service and the words and the talk and the music and the fellowship is all perfectly coming together for each individual person's need, desire, and unfolding. So grateful I am to call forth an awareness and declare that this service is the best service that has ever happened at CSL Greater Baltimore in all of the services that have ever happened, that Reverend Raymont stands in his divinity as the words pour forth through, in, and as him, teaching each one of us, guiding each one of us, providing the nurturing for each one of us that hear this message live on this technology called Zoom, or we hear it later in the recording that is saved for others to hear and see. We know absolutely that the perfect energy that is necessary is already happening now. So this service is blessed. Each and every individual that is listening to these words, blessed, standing in truth, standing in a sacred yes. We simply allow ourselves to experience this great community, this beloved community that is called CSL Greater Baltimore. For this, I'm giving thanks, because when I release my words, I know they're already made manifest. They are already done. They were done before I spoke them, and they fall into the fertile soil of love and light. All is good and all is well, and so it is. Amen.
And so it is. Thank you, Dianne. At this time, the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore's community honors the diversity of all religions as represented by this ceremony. Baha'i is the path of unity and peace. Buddhism is the path of compassion and cessation of suffering. Christianity is the path of love and forgiveness. Confucianism is the path of deliberate tradition. Hinduism is the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. Islam is the path of submission to the will of God. Judaism is the path of submission, is the path of living by sacred law. Indigenous spirituality is the path of honoring the earth and all life. Shintoism is the path of ritual veneration of kami and honoring nature. Taoism is the path of ultimate reality through balance. Unitarian Universalist is the path of social justice and sacred activism. Science of mind and spirit is the path of awakening one's spiritual magnificence in accord with love and law. The heart. The heart represents our love for and unity with all life. Now that they have sunk in, I have some announcements for you. We currently have 3 weekly ongoing ways to study, learn, and discuss. First and third Monday nights, the Sacred Contracts Book Club hosted by Nancy Rosenberg. On Wednesday nights is the Science of Mind textbook exploration group facilitated by Reverend Dr. Ray. And Thursday nights is the study group facilitated by Dr. Ronnie Ellington. The discovery class is available online. Contact us at info@cslgreaterbaltimore.org or visit the website for more information on becoming a member of CSLGB. Sign up for the CSLGB newsletter, the CSLGB Facebook and Instagram pages, and get more news and information by visiting the CSLGreaterbaltimore.org and CSLGreaterbaltimore.com. Interested in a community camping trip? A CSLGB getaway? Sue Italiano is checking to see if there is any interest. If so, send her an email. sueitaliano@gmail.com. She'll love to hear from you. The Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore's Ministry of Education has some upcoming classes. ASL Level 1 through CSL for 8 weeks. This began April 30th and from 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This introductory course will begin to lay the foundational pieces of ASL and the culture so that you can begin to build with ease, comfort, and fun. A greater understanding and fluency that will continue to build from the first to the final class. You will learn a lot. Foundations of Science of Mind, facilitated by Dr. Ronnie Ellington. If you are interested in taking foundations, contact Sue Monahan. Once 4 more people have expressed a desire, a Saturday class will be scheduled. Conversations about race, racial literacy as a spiritual practice. Every second Wednesday of the month, 7 to 9 p.m., this happens. A year-long journey of experiencing racial literacy as a spiritual practice. As Centers for Spiritual Living holds the vision of creating a world that works for everyone as our beacon, our spiritual work is in examining our thinking, both our personal thoughts and those passed on to us in a collective, socialized manner. The required reading is A Race is a Nice Thing to Have, A Guide to Being a White Person or Understanding the White Persons in Your Life by Janet E. Helms. Love offerings gratefully accepted. For more information, you can contact Rebecca Arena Beal at 410-340-4805 or Bella358@comcast.net. Mental Equivalence with Reverend Chris Ashley, Senior Minister of Celebration Center for Spiritual Living, Falls Church, Virginia. Wednesdays, which began April 28th and runs through May 26th, from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. All are welcome. The tuition is $170. Scholarships are available. Leap into a state of true potential by activating the powerful law of mental equivalence. For every formed thing in the universe, there is a corresponding mental image. Discover how to measure and expand thinking to create a larger mental image so that one's greatest desires may demonstrate. For the full class descriptions and more information, you are encouraged to visit the website cslgreaterbaltimore.org or cslgreaterbaltimore.com to find more educational opportunities in ours and other communities we are partnered with. Would you like to receive a daily text and voicemail from Reverend Dr. Ray? If so, type JOIN to 833-663-9021 to begin receiving your daily inspirations. You will be glad you did. Now, for those of you joining us for the first time, and as a reminder to others on the call, on the count of 3, we shout, prayer works. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Prayer works. Yes. We as a community continue to treat and move our feet, knowing the truth for everyone around the planet. Prayer requests can be sent at any time via email to info@cslgreaterbaltimore.org. Our musician today is Felicia Taylor. She is a passionate singer, songwriter, and producer on a mission to deliver connection, love, and experience through song. She is a heart transplant survivor and mother of 2 beautiful children that encourage her to continue to give the joy of a life and positivity to those that she meets. You can go to her Facebook site to further connect with her. It's www.facebook.com/ Felicia.t.taylor.9. I give you Felicia.
Like hidden gems of stories never told before, they stand before us like an open door. The truth is shining just like diamonds on the floor, waiting for us to knock upon the door.
At this time, Dianne will lead us in an in-service spiritual practice.
And so beautiful it is to thank you so much for this wonderful music as we contemplate the possibilities. So, my reading today for our spiritual practice, we're going to do some breathing and some listening. And the reading today comes from, or for this practice, comes from Living the Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes. It's this book here. And it's found on page 246. It is entitled One Healer. So I invite you to settle into your space wherever you are, to breathe, relax. Relax your head, your neck, your shoulders, unfurrow your brow so that your third eye can be inclined. Breathe deeply and just settle into the chair that you're sitting in. Allow yourself to just relax and hear my words that are being read from Living the Science of Mind. The relief that we do not have the ability to heal, the belief that we do not have the ability to heal arises out of the mistaken idea that our power does the healing or that the intellect does the healing. All that the will and the intellect could do is to behold or watch the process. The mind fixes its gaze steadfastly upon the principle and then declares that this principle is operative in human affairs and particularly in the affairs of the one being treated. But there is but one healer. This is the spirit of truth. There is but one principle. This is God within us. There is but one final law. This is the law of God. There is but one ultimate impulsion. The impulsion is love. That which really does the healing can never fluctuate, can never change in its nature. It is not more one day and less the next. It is at this moment absolutely all there is, and it is ever available. We must forever rid ourselves of the idea that the personal man who does that it is the personal man who does the healing. We must know that it is not I, but the Father that dwelleth within me. He doeth the work. Principle operates irrespective of personal opinion. And when, through acquiescence, we agree that it is operating, then it must operate. It is not enough for the practitioner to know this or to state it as his belief or to affirm it as a conviction. This is but the foundation upon which he builds his edifice of faith. These are the materials which he molds into the form of definite desire. He must not only know that God is all there is, but he must know that God exists right where the need is, not in the form of need, but in the form of an answer to the need. The divine spirit is the only actor, the true savior, the all in all, and is now manifesting itself. Being all in all, it has no opposition, competition, or otherness. So as we contemplate this, as we listen and acknowledge the truth, we acquiesce and surrender. All that is necessary is already within us. Is tending and nurturing and allowing. So we just quietly contemplate together, breathing in the words, exhaling anything that contradicts the truth, breathing in the knowing, exhaling anything that does not support our awareness that we already have what we need. All that I need is already within me. It is not I, but the Mother, Father, God presence within me that does the work. All that I am, God is, and all that God is, I am. And so it is, and so I am, and so I let it be. Ashe.
And so it is. Thank you, Dianne. Senior Minister, Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Baltimore, Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson, has frequently been referred to as a Renaissance man. One look at his resume and the reason becomes clear. As a lifelong learner with a passion for self-development, personal transformation, transmutation, and self-awakening, he lives his bliss as a teacher, mentor, speaker, minister, and so much more. His mission is to live, move, and be inactive, which is an acronym, authentic, compassionate, transparent, inspired, vibrant, and empowered member of society who serves to educate, elucidate, emancipate, awaken, and empower people and communities. Rev, come do what you do. And as he stands here, send him some love, some energy as you do. Thank you.
Namaste and blessings, everyone. So if we are ready, let's dive in. Today's message, the title is This Adventure Called Life. And as Dianne already referenced, the theme for the month, Holy, Holy Uprising. So let's look. If the etymology of adventure includes occurrence, risk, event, and chance, we are invited to look at where we are allowing this one life to show up. Where are we taking holy risks to evolve? And how often are we seizing the chances or the opportunities to let our spiritual magnificence be our experience? So if we look at in CSL, one of the statements from the global vision, it says, we see a world in which each and every person lives in alignment with their highest spiritual principle, emphasizing the unity with God and connection with each other. A world in which individually and collectively, we are called to a higher state of consciousness and action. Okay, so you get that. So we see each person living in alignment. And we're talking about this adventure called life. So if I ask you, well, what does it mean to be in alignment with any of these concepts, any of these words? Adventure, daring, risk, etc. Because depending on how we are standing in alignment, now pause and 3 steps back. Because oftentimes when we're talking about being in alignment, we're talking about being in alignment with the truth of our being. And we reference, if we're not in alignment with that, then we're out of alignment. But we're always in alignment with something. So if I am not in alignment with the truth of my being, then I am in alignment with the error concept and consciousness of my being. I'm in alignment with the lie. Follow what I'm saying? So when we come to this idea of adventure and possibility, am I in alignment with seeing my life as this daring, exciting adventure of possibility? Or am I in alignment with, yeah, but I don't want the risk. Like there's fear. Well, if I do that, then, but what if it goes wrong? Follow me? So either way, we're in alignment with something. We're in alignment with where we are going with this adventure of life called life, life living itself as each one of us, and the truth of the energy and power of that, or we're in alignment with same old, business as usual, blah, 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 me. Because I don't want to, I don't want to take the chance. I don't want to, because I might fall, I might fail. So today, our invitation is, if we're going to live boldly in a holy, holy way, then it means stepping out and stepping up in bold and audacious ways. Arriving at our oneness through conscious participation. Long before the Vedic sages proclaimed, I am the universe, and long before Ernest Holmes ever wrote our Declaration of Principles, the universe has been creatively and intelligently evolving. The process for us is now one of human alignment, receptivity, and participation. The physical universe is the one infinite reality, and it's ever evolving into greater and greater and greater levels of expression. Within this awareness, we can engage, experience, step up and out with a sense of dedication and consecrated as a divine expression. You know, there's an old joke that says, if science of mind were against the law, is there enough evidence in your life to convict you? Meaning, are we so convicted of truth and practicing this teaching and being in alignment with the truth of our being as spiritually magnificent beings, the I am being itself as each and every one of us, Are we convicted to do what we need to do, to live how we need to live, to walk how we need to walk in order to manifest and demonstrate accordingly, to be happy, to be loving, to be filled with joy? Are we convicted to that idea? Because this idea of the universe is you and I living, thinking, and singing the verse of, or the song of creation, you and I. Because there's only one universe. There's only one verse, one power and presence, one infinite I am that is ever becoming more and more of itself and never less, because God can never be anything less than what it is. So it is only becoming more and more and more. Are we convicted to do our, because it says participation, because we can sit back and twiddle our thumbs. Are we actively participating in this process so that we can live our best lives? Deepak Chopra and Mina Kafatos said, this is a participatory universe that depends for its very existence on human beings. In other words, if that which it is, spirit, the one mind, life itself, is living, moving, and having its beingness in, through, and as each one of us, then it needs itself as us to experience this thing called human life. And so when we choose not to participate, to not meet the mental equivalent of this infinite power, then in a way we are denying it the opportunity to be what it is as us. Right? Like let's anthropomorphize this for a minute. Okay? God says, Ray, so I want to be this amazing power as you. No. I'm good. I'm good. Because see, the moment you start trying to be all this amazing, then people gonna want more stuff. People gonna call me for more stuff and ask me to do more stuff. And I already got enough on my plate. But Ray, if I am being all that I am as you, then clearly I am going, hey, stay in your lane, Stop trying to make me be more. I'm good enough. I'm happy with being just enough to get by. But you can be so much more, because what you are, hey, don't you got somebody else to go mess with? Like, leave me alone. How often do we do that? In one way, shape, or form, where we deny our own truth the opportunity to be what it is as us, because we settle for less. Raymond Charles Barker said, I almost said Raymont. Raymond Charles Barker said, you are the present becoming the future. Ooh, you are the present moment that is infinitely becoming more and more. So how we participate and engage in this now moment affects the next now moment. How we engage now, this moment, is how we lay the foundation for what we call the future, which we know simply to be yet another present moment. Yet the invitation is, how are we engaging this? Are we denying ourselves once again? How are we participating in this present moment? And how are we allowing the infinite future possibilities of all that could ever be, the good, the joy, the bliss, to be what it is as us? Because see, on any given day, we do some form of risk analysis where we are weighing and balancing. So if I meditate today, then what this could, I won't have enough time to sweep the floor. Sweeping the floor is more important today because Ray was eating trail mix and there was a bunch of sunflower seeds under the dining room table. So what I'm going to choose to do today is sweep the floor, because he is too lazy to do it. I don't know what he's doing. He's probably outside doing kung fu, but I'm going to sweep the floor instead of meditating today. Not that Tracy actually does, well, she does sweep up the floor because anyhow, today's not about me. But on any given day, we do have this thing where we are weighing risk analysis because, you know, we don't want to fail. We don't want to fall on our face. We don't want to look stupid. We don't want to be embarrassed. We don't want to, we don't want any of that. We don't want, Tracy said, we don't want to pronounce things wrong. So we are always, what's the risk involved in this? And am I willing to take the risk? But check this out. Because there is only the infinite I am, then truthfully, we can never fail. We truthfully, in the essence of our being, can never fall. In the essence of our being, we can never die because God cannot die. There is no death for God. So that which is spirit is only infinite and eternal life forever. So if we can't even die, we can't fail, then what's the risk? Well, Reverend Ray, pain. I don't want to hurt. I got you with the fail, but I'm going to feel. I got you. I hear you. And that's a real thing. The feeling of whether it's an emotional pain, whether it's a physical pain, like getting shot in the arm and it's still sore the day after, like whatever. Yes, there's physical pain. Yeah. And I hear you. But the more we ground and anchor and say, if that which God is being itself as me, then clearly I must have on some level the capacity to not only transcend, but transmute whatever this experience is. So yes, I feel angry about racism. Transmute and transcend, transform, not just it, but ourselves moving through it so that then it must match our mental equivalent, which means it has to fade away into the nothingness. It has to go the way of the Tyrannosaurus Rex. It has to vanish because we are no longer carrying the container that makes it possible. Same thing with everything else, illness, disease, failure, poverty. When we shift and recognize that risk is actually possibility, especially when we recognize that risk can mean realizing I am spirit and know. Realizing I am spirit and know. There is no spirit outside of me for me to go to or petition. There is only the infinite that is being in, through, and as everything and everyone. And so in this moment, I am realizing that I am spirit and know. What do I know? I know how to move through. I know how to transcend. I know how to practice. I know how to be. I know how to breathe. I know how to live and live fully in a holy, holy way. And to whatever degree that I may feel that I don't know, then it's practice, moment by moment. Same way you would do with a language. Because there is the infinite that is being itself as you, then the capacity to already know that language must already exist in you and for you. I've never taken Spanish. And, you know, at my age, I'm 55, learning Spanish, like you can't teach an old dog new tricks. That which is spirit, that which is God knows every language on the face of this planet. So if you chose to be multilingual, if you chose to be a polyglot, if you chose to be what you are, then the infinite I am that knows Spanish, French, Chinese, Russian, Farsi, it will make a way in, through, and as the very cells and atoms of your body to make it so that you, at whatever age, can speak or write, learn, and communicate. So it is always possible because the infinite is right here where each of us is. Ernest Holmes says, there is an inner urge in our minds to grow, to expand, to break down the barriers of previous limitations, and to ever widen our experience. This persistent urge is a divine influence and irresistible force, and constitutes the greatest impulse in human experience. This divine urge, some refer to it as divine discontent, when there's that urge that says, come on, dude, get your LLC together. Come on now, start your 501c3. Come on now, you can travel the world. Come on now, you can change your job. Come on now, you can get this relationship. Come on now, be what you are and can be, because that which is the universe is breathing itself as you right now. That divine urge that says, yes, grow. Yes, expand. Yes, be more of what you are as truth, a spiritually magnificent being. Even when stuff is going wrong in the world, the more we know and tap into and move and live and have our being in alignment with this divine urge, then that divine urge will urge us to change the face of the planet. It will see people in India suffering and dying from COVID, and that divine urge will cause us to do something. It will see and hear about people being shot in Baltimore and Philadelphia, and the divine urge will cause us to do something. And it starts in consciousness, and then it ends in action. And that action may be prayer, that action may be donations, that action may be some kind of service on the street, but whatever it is, that action is God, the divine urge of itself moving through us, if we give it space to do so. Just like our breath. Right now, I could choose when Dianne is guiding in meditation and she says, take a deep breath. Now I'm already breathing, but I could choose not to take a deep breath. I could choose to breathe shallow. The breath is there already, but I choose how I engage it. The divine urge is always there. We choose how to engage it. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. Said to us by Helen Keller, author, disability rights advocate, political activist, and lecturer, and a whole bunch of things. She was a supporter of the NAACP. She was an original founding member of the American Civil Liberties Union, deaf-blind. Now, trust and believe, all that glitters is not gold, because she's got some stuff also in her life where she's like, come on, Helen, what are you doing? Because she was a supporter of eugenics. So was Hitler. So just let us be clear. But the idea that we are taking from her today is life is either a daring adventure, life is either a holy, daring adventure, or it is nothing at all. Because if we're not living fully, then we're existing. The word adventure has come to be associated with risk. However, from the Latin adventura, a thing about to happen, ultimately this word means to arrive, right? To finally reach one's destination. However, check this out. Thich Nhat Hanh said, dear ancestors, dear father, dear mother, dear Buddha, dear patriarchs, dear teacher, dear friends, I have arrived. I am home. While I am still making steps, I have already arrived. I am already home. I have stopped wandering. This is the teaching and the practice of Plum Village, the Dharma seal of Plum Village. In other words, there is nowhere for us to go. The infinite I am is right where we are. So when we take another class, when we go and take this workshop, when we read another book, yes, we are still making steps, but we are already there. There is nowhere to go to find God. There is nowhere to go to be more of it. So yes, take the workshop, take the class. Yes, go on the retreat. Yes, read the book, while also recognizing that each of these steps, each of these pages, each of these adventures is simply a reminder that we are already home. We are already right where God is. Deepak Chopra and Mina Kafatos, once again, there is only one reality, not two. There is no inner and outer, no me and you, no mind and matter. The mind has stopped conceiving of reality and now starts living it. So yes, we experience life in duality because that's the way it's made up. So I see Tracy sitting over there and I know that I'm standing here, and I know each of you are in your respective locations, homes, offices, etc. But ultimately, it's only God. It is only spirit. So the matter that is this camera and this microphone, the matter that is this stand and this shirt and the prayer beads, it's matter, but ultimately it is consciousness showing itself in the form of purple shirt, showing the form of webcam. It's still only God, because God is all there is. Say yes to every holy opportunity. Adventure isn't exclusive to the adrenaline rush of ziplining, swimming with sharks. Tracy's like, yeah, nope. Rock climbing or bungee jumping. Say, yeah, what'd you say? Tracy said she'll zip line. She ain't going in the water with the sharks, though. She ain't doing the others either. I'll do the zip line. It's safe. But the idea is we don't need to do any of these adrenaline rushing behaviors in order to engage life in a holy, holy way. Saying yes to the opportunity to start a business, saying yes to contacting a practitioner for a prayer session, saying yes to your own beauty and amazing power and authenticity. Say yes. Say yes to God being itself as you. That's all the adrenaline we ever need. Science of Mind says, in the midst of plenty, humanity lives in want because of fear. To overcome fear is the greatest adventure of the mind of man, mind of humans, mind of people kind. Overcoming fear. We're not going to say yes for as long as we are afraid. So let us say yes and then move through the fear moment by moment. Every day our actions exist on the cutting edge of evolution, the frontier where the mind is caught between caution and curiosity. Where are we? And what are we choosing and moving forward? The inner adventure, finding God within self, others, nature, and human events begins in the silent communion of our spiritual practices, our way of living, and expands to a smile, an act of kindness, learning about new people or places, languages, and things. The adventure begins Alpha and ends Omega, recognizing that the Alpha and Omega is an infinite. That which God is has no beginning or end. But when we experience life, the day begins and the day ends. And yet that which is the Alpha and Omega, that which is what is and was and forever will be, continues while expressing itself as the very atmosphere of our lives in ways that we participate and engage each and every day, with the vast possibilities and opportunities to find, to experience, to live the divine, to engage the divine, to demonstrate it in new, life-affirming and evolutionary ways. So when we engage the Alpha and Omega, we recognize that there is no beginning and end. There is only that which it is as one power and presence. And ultimately, when we recognize that one power and presence, we see the creative impulse. We understand the ability to create, to manifest, to demonstrate accordingly, because there is only God. Only the infinite power and presence, omnipotence itself, omnipresence itself, omniscience itself. There is nothing except God. As Dr. Ken Gordon said, I believe in God and absolutely nothing else. So when I look at you, when I look at Tracy, I believe in God and absolutely nothing else. So I don't see the possibility of failure. I believe in God and nothing else, absolutely nothing else. And because absolutely nothing else, how can God fail? I believe in God and absolutely nothing else, as Dianne giving the pre-service meditation, anchoring us and grounding us. I believe in God and absolutely nothing else, as Felicia gracing us with this beautiful and amazing song. The first one, pre-service meditation, I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. All of the obstacles, there are none, because I believe in God and nothing else. I see Renuka and Dedra interpreting, giving access to our beloved friends and family in the deaf community, and I believe in God and nothing else. So I know that the service that they provide is doing exactly what our vision says. It is in alignment with that, because I believe in God and absolutely nothing else. Are we willing to live and move and have our beingness in that holy, holy way? Or do we want to do like Neo and Morpheus, where it's choose the pill, wake up or go back to sleep? But Rumi said, the breeze at dawn has secrets to tell you. Don't go back to sleep. You must ask for what you really want. Don't go back to sleep. People are going back and forth across the door sill where the two worlds touch. The door is round and open. Don't go back to sleep. Once the mind has been expanded, it can never, it's like a balloon. Once you've expanded it, you can let the air out. That balloon never goes back to its original shape because it's been expanded. Once our minds, our consciousness, the very atmosphere of our being has been expanded, going back to sleep is not an option. Today's invitation to practice this week, ask, what do I perceive as a risk that causes me to fear my life's adventure? Where in my life am I currently allowing myself to be held back due to fear of failure, fear of success, fear of looking silly, fear of being reckless, being ridiculed or judged by others? Where in my life am I holding myself back because of any of these or something else? Where is one place this week that I can reorient myself to the truth of my divine being and sing that song into further creation? One thing this week that I can do to align myself with the truth of my being and sing that song, because I am the universe in expression. I am the voice celestial singing creation into being. And then lastly, have a conversation with tres personas. Have a conversation with 3 people about an adventure you have dreamed about, but you have never embarked upon. No talk about why you haven't, or if you might one day do it. Simply talk about the desire and the adventure itself, right? So you haven't, for example, I haven't gone to Japan, never done it, something I want to do. So I'm not going to talk to Tracy about why I've never gone. I'm not going to talk about, well, in 2 years, I'm planning to go. Nope. Just talk about, I've had this dream of going to Japan because the culture, the language, the temples, just talk about the desire, not anything else. Talk about the desire and the adventure itself. This week's declaration or affirmation, I will say it first and then together. With resolute confidence, I participate fully and freely in the adventure of life. Together. With resolute confidence, I participate fully and freely in the adventure of life. And we breathe as we prepare the very atmosphere of what CSL Greater Baltimore is for another being that we know does exactly this. Because Felicia participates fully, she participates freely in the adventure of life, and she graces all those that she meets with this beautiful talent that she has. As she prepares to grace us once again with song. Put our hands together for Felicia Taylor.
She was walking down the street, looked up and noticed he was nameless, he was homeless. She asked him his name and she told him what hers was. Hear her story about life, with a glint in his eye and the corner of a smile. One conversation, a simple moment, things that change us if we notice when we look up. Sometimes they said I would never make it, but I was bound to break the mold. The only dream that I've been chasing is my own. So I'll sing a song for the hustlers, train at the bus stop, single mothers waiting on a tractor, come young teachers, student doctors, son on the front line, knowing they don't get to run. This goes out to the underdog. Keep on thinking now what you love, you'll find that someday soon enough you will rise up, yeah. Taxi back to the kitchen, talking to the driver about his wife and his children, on the run from a country where they put you in prison for being a woman, speaking your mind. She looked in his eyes in the mirror and he smiled. One conversation, a simple moment, things that change us if we notice when we look up. Sometimes they said I would never make it, but I was bound to break the mold. The only dream that I've been chasing is my own. So I'll sing a song for the hustlers, train at the bus stop, single mothers waiting on a tractor, come young teachers, student doctors, son on the front line, knowing they don't get to run. This goes out to the underdog. Keep on keeping out your love, you'll find that someday soon enough you will rise up, yeah. Single mothers waiting on a tractor, come young teachers, student doctors, son on the front line, knowing they don't get to run. This goes out to the underdog. Keep on keeping out what you love, you'll find that someday soon enough you will rise up, yeah. That you will rise up. Everybody rise up.
Everybody rise up. Ha. Rise up. Ha. Rise up. Tracy's laughing at me right now. Thank you. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank you, Felicia. That was beautiful. As always. As always. Because what can he say, Tracy? Oh, ain't God good? Ain't God good? Yes. Yeah, my oldest son, he says, ain't God good? Look at God. Look at God. Look at God. As Felicia Taylor, yes, rise up. So we breathe in this gratitude. We breathe in all of this joy and wonder and amazement that we know that we are the living power of spirit, personifying itself, individualizing itself, expressing itself in, through, and as each and every one of us. Recognizing then that there is no separation between being spirit and practicing spiritual practices and living a spiritual life. It's all one. Three made one. Trinity made one. It's all. So everything we do, when we do it from this consciousness of, when we know and we know that we know, then it's all spiritual practice. And we breathe. Speaking of spiritual practice, because right now our spiritual practice is that of tithing and donating where you are spiritually fed. And as Tracy reminds us, tithing and donating where you know that you is your beloved spiritual community. You want a new building, you want classrooms, you want a labyrinth, you want a Zen garden, you want a beautiful sanctuary that seats 1,000, like whatever it is, windows, like whatever it is, you know, and we paid the rent on time and tithe and donate to other organizations like Baltimore Ceasefire. Like that's what we do. That's why we're here. We tithe and donate to the Baltimore station. That's what we do. So in order to do that, we as a beloved community must step into what it means to practice and be the very demonstration of the law of circulation. Our Practitioner Expansion Fund pledge at this present moment is $2,515 as of April 26th. This is what the practitioners have pledged on top of their regular tithing. The community matching pledge at this present moment as of April 26th is $500. Put your hands together and say amen, yes. So we are recognizing that. Oh, Tracy. Amen. Okay. I said amen. Ain't God good, Tracy? So how do you tithe and donate to your beloved spiritual community? PayPal, text to give, postal mail. You can divide your portions however you want. So you can give to hospitality, you can give to compassionate care, emergency, like you can scholarships for education. You can divide stuff up. So if you ever want more information, you can go to the website, cslgreaterbaltimore.com/give, or you can ask any of the Board of Trustee members. Together, let us declare our declaration of financial wealth and abundance, recognizing this is true for us individually and collectively. Together, I joyfully, consciously, and gratefully participate in the law of circulation. I trust in the spiritual principle that says, as I sow into my beloved community, I demonstrate my awareness of standing not only in the flow, but as the flow itself. As I sow of myself, my time, my treasure, my talent, I demonstrate my support and engagement in my community's vision, mission, and purpose. I actively give as a demonstration of manifesting, of reaping the harvest of a world that works for all. And we breathe, just breathe in all that goodness, knowing that that which is an infinite power and presence, that it's like it's word I'm looking for. It can't run out. That's what I'm looking for. That knowing that which is without measure. Like you think of a well, it's a well, but there's a bottom to the well, right? And no matter how much water is in the well, at some point, the well, right, runs out. But knowing that that which is the infinite, without bounds, is showing up right now as you, in you, through you, around you, it's all that is, and it's you, then where is there room for, I don't have enough. I don't have enough time, enough money. I don't have enough intelligence. I don't have enough education. I don't have enough. I don't have enough. I don't have enough support. I don't have enough. I don't have enough. But what happens when we recognize that this infinite power and presence is all there is, and we say, right now, what I feel like I don't have enough, but what I am anchoring to and what I am putting into practice is the recognition and the realization that the infinite I am, that is spirit, and I know that what it is what I am, then how could I not also demonstrate the magnificence of it? Because now I am living, moving, and having my beingness in alignment with it. As Tracy says, today be awesome. And you can be awesome because that which is awesomeness itself, the same thing that makes the rose open, that makes cherry blossoms blossom, that makes a rainbow in the sky, that makes that cool breeze on a warm day, that makes the puppy do the little silly stuff that makes you laugh at the little cute puppy or the kittens. All of that awesomeness that is God is right here where you are. There is no separation between it and you. There is only it as you. So why would we not step out? You know, put on, like Dr. Ronnie, I think it was yesterday, put on them shades and them earrings and go out in the world and be like, look at me, look at God and how awesome God is as me, right? Come on. Like show up and show out. Let us be holy, holy. And let us rise up. Today, send your prayer requests, because unfortunately at this present moment, we don't have a practitioner for after service prayer. So send your prayer requests to info@cslgreaterbaltimore.org, and we will make sure that a practitioner reaches out to you so you can get your prayers nonetheless. And keep in mind, you don't have to just ask for prayer when things aren't going well. What? Right? Like if you're going to affirm and know the truth, then when you are feeling like, you know what, I'm sexy, then pray for more sexy. Well, if I'm feeling awesome and I'm like, you know what, I feel pretty, ooh, then pray for more of that. Right? You can get prayer for more of the good that God is as you as well. Did you know that today after service is visioning? So feel free to stay on the call, on the Zoom, if you are choosing to anchor into the spiritual practice of visioning, led by Dr. Ronnie Ellington today. And I don't know what the actual visioning theme is going to be, but it's always something good and delicious and powerful. So feel free to stay on the call for visioning. And at this time, let us anchor in the awareness of knowing that God is all there is. Simply breathing and allowing that breath to be God breathing itself as each and every one of us. Knowing that this power, this presence, this love, this joy, this holy holiness is breathing this breath, is moving our bodies. That our thoughts are its thoughts, because there is only one mind, and that mind is God. So as service ends, we end service knowing that this power and presence that has no end, this Alpha and Omega, this infinite power that is always moving and expanding and demonstrating more and more juicy, delicious, orgasmic greatness in, through, and as every element of our lives, we end service allowing that awesomeness, that power to be what motivates us and moves us and encourages us and supports us as it breathes each breath along this adventure that is our lives, knowing that this is good, knowing that the law has said yes, knowing that we say yes to the law that says yes to us. It's all good. It's all God. And so knowing that it is, I surrender this and allow it to be what it already is as answered prayer. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. Blessings, everybody. Much love. Have an amazing day. See you soon.